Hi, this is James from the Hornbill Technical Support team, and this is a short tutorial to show you how to configure authorizations using a BPM process. So in our previous few tutorials, what we have done is we set up a new change process. We've defined what the stages are going to be and how it all ties together. The next things we need to do is set up the authorization and tasks and just see how that appears to the actual end customer. So I'm going to go into our process that we've created, which is the James process. I'm going to go into my stages, which is process stages, and here we have the stage for change authorization. Of course, we've already set up the status values. We've already set up the on status change. So now we're just going to go into the authorization tab, and I'm just going to tick the box that says this stage requires authorization. Now there's a couple of different ways you can set this up. Now one way that you can do it is you can have a predefined list of authorizers, or you can set up authorizers on the fly. So I'm going to show you both in this tutorial. The first thing I'm going to go through is the predefined list. So here within the authorizers tab here, I'm just going to click on new. I'm going to set a few different people to actually authorize it. Here you can see there's an authorizer type. Now there's a few different options here. One which is analyst, one which is customs manager, customer, and an affected business area if you've set them up. So what I'm going to do in this instance is set up a couple for analyst, a couple for customer. So analyst, and I'm going to go just my admin one. Let's just say that's 50%. Add. So you can see here weighting's 50%. Of course, the weighting is purely for people who have more authorization power, basically, in terms of maybe someone. Let's say, for instance, maybe there's a new starter that's come through, and maybe the support manager has more power to be able to authorize it than someone else. Maybe someone only has maybe 50% authorizing, so it needs someone else to also have that 50% to make it be able to be authorized correctly. So here at the moment, because it's 50, it won't be approved because my weighting in the settings tab, you can see, is set as 100. So I'm also going to set up one more to be the actual customer. Weighting of 50%. It says pending customer assignment purely because it doesn't know which customer to actually choose at this particular stage. If you're doing the on-the-fly authorizations, you can actually choose a specific customer in your database, whereas if you're doing a predefined a custom authorization, you'll need to do this by logging the call against a customer. So I'm going to go add record. I'm not going to tick the box that says authorizers can be added on the fly. So now we go into the settings tab. Now what we need to do is just use these particular settings here. In another tutorial I've gone over this particular setting, which is customer authorizations can be submitted via email. You might want to check that out because it's really good. There's a few ways where customers can actually approve these authorizations, one which is through email, one which is self-service, and obviously you can do it manually from the client here as well. So I'm going to tick it, but I'm only going to use it through the actual client to show you this particular tutorial. So when it's actually authorized by the authorizers, which means it's met this 100 weighting level, what do I want it to do? I want it to set the status to authorized. That means you don't need to do a manual status change to authorize like I've done in the previous tutorial. When it's rejected, I want to set it to rejected. That means obviously the on status change for both of these would automatically pick up an action for you. So one thing with authorizations is that you've got to let them know that they've got an authorization pending. So one thing you might want to do is configure your own email templates to send out. Here you can see email notification settings. I'm just going to select the main mailbox that I've got here. Out of the box does come with some templates for you. So I'm going to select the customer authorization notification and the analyst one to be BPM analyst authorization. So that's all we need to do actually from the setup point of view of authorizations. I'm just going to save changes and then log an example. So first thing I'm going to do is just populate an email address in the analyst, otherwise the email won't send. And let's log a change request. So remember, I wanted to supply it against a customer, so that's the pending customer assignment. So I'll add test call against my process. There we go. Log and accept. Okay. Right, okay, so you can see it's at the change information stage. So I'm going to go to got information. Let's move it across to the authorizer stage. Emergency. Okay, so now you can see that it's automatically picked up this authorization tab, which means that it's recognized that you've set up authorizers on this particular stage, and instead of showing you the default stage tab here, it's gone straight to authorization with the pending authorizations that's required. So what this has done is, because I've set up the email to be automatically sent out, it's sent out emails to both the administrator and Mr. Alan Castle, who's our example customer, for approval. So the way they'd obviously approve is for email, self-service, etc. So once they've come back and approved it, what I'm going to do is just do that manually. So just authorized. Hopefully that'll let me do that. Yeah. So that's authorized. It'll write to the diary after it's authorized as well. Again, because of the weighting's 100, it needs both of them to approve it. So once it's approved, it should automatically move on, which it has. So you can see that it's no longer authorization; it's performing the work. So that's all authorization is in the BPM process. It's quite simple. Just need to make sure that the statuses are set up correctly and the email templates are set up correctly. If you wish to add more email templates, you need to go into the Manage Email Templates, and then within this Bulk Email Templates section within here. So that's all for this particular tutorial. The next ones we're going to go through is for tasks and also for the BPM progress.